Have you ever felt like you're running on a treadmill, moving fast, but staying in the exact same spot? This sensation often peaks every January. You construct a mental image of a new you, free from old vices and defined by discipline. You promise yourself, this is the year things click. I'll finally follow through. Yet within weeks, the momentum evaporates, and you find yourself back at the starting line, no closer to the vision you had. The real puzzle is, how do you actually transform into the person you want to be? How do you dismantle destructive patterns and make excellence your default setting? James Clear's Atomic Habits provides the blueprint. In this visual guide, we are dissecting the core mechanics of the book, from the architecture of habit loops and the chemistry of dopamine to the art of environmental priming. Stay tuned until the conclusion, where I'll demonstrate how I've integrated these strategies into my own life and how you can do the same. This book is a mandatory addition to any library. Let's find out why. The magnitude of microshifts. Consider a ship navigating across the Atlantic from London to New York. If the captain shifts the rudder by just a few degrees at the start, that tiny deviation, barely noticeable to the passengers, would result in the ship docking in Boston or even the Canadian coast instead of Manhattan. Our lives operate on the same principle of navigation. Minor adjustments in our daily conduct can drastically alter our life's trajectory over a decade, though the shift is invisible in the moment. You are the sum of your repetitions. As Clear notes, a marginal shift in your routine is the difference between who you are and who you could become. Radical gains versus the 1% rule. We often fall into the trap of believing that monumental success requires a monumental Big Bang effort. We wait for a quantum leap or a life-changing event to fix everything. In reality, it is the microscopic refinements which seem trivial today that build an extraordinary future. Look at the arithmetic. Improving by just 1% every day for a year results in you being nearly 38 times more effective by the end of 12 months. Conversely, a 1% daily decline drags your progress toward zero. Your behaviors compound like interest, either as negative interest through stress and stagnation, or positive interest through mastery, health, and wisdom. Success isn't a singular event. It's a lagging indicator of your daily rituals. The reality of the growth curve. When we start a new project, we anticipate a linear path. Work goes in, results come out. But growth is actually latent. In the early stages, you exert massive effort with zero visible change. Clear calls this the valley of disappointment. You're working hard, but the ice cube hasn't started melting yet. This is where most people quit. True compounding requires the stamina to push through the period where results are hidden. Systems over objectives. Stop obsessing over goals. Start refining your systems. A goal is a finish line. A system is the training regimen that gets you there. We're taught that the secret to winning is setting smart goals. But if you ignored the goal entirely and just focused on the process, would you still get there? The answer is yes. Relying solely on goals presents 4 major flaws. 1. The winner's paradox. Both the gold medalist and the person who didn't qualify had the same goal, to win. Therefore, the goal cannot be the factor that separates them. 2. Transitory change. Reaching a goal only fixes your life for a fleeting moment. 3. The happiness trap. Goals create a success or failure binary, making you miserable until the finish line is crossed. 4. The yo-yo effect. Once a goal is hit, like a marathon, the motivation vanishes and you revert to your old, sedentary self. Goals set the compass, but systems drive the vehicle. The anatomy of atomic habits. The obstacle to change isn't your willpower, it's your architecture. You don't fail to change because you lack grit, but because your system is designed for your current results. Atomic habits are the small, modular behaviors that serve as the building blocks of a larger system of excellence. There are 3 depths to transformation. 1. The surface, outcomes, focusing on what you get, losing 20 pounds. 2. The intermediate, process, focusing on what you do, a new gym schedule. 3. The core, identity, focusing on what you believe, who you are. Most people try to change from the outside in. The most durable change is inside out. The objective isn't to read a book, it's to become a reader. The objective isn't to run a race, it's to become an athlete. When a behavior aligns with your identity, it stops being a chore and starts being a reflection of who you are. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. The feedback loop. A habit is simply a mental shortcut for a recurring problem. It's an automated response managed by a 4-stage loop. Cue plus craving plus response plus reward. Example: A. Your phone chimes. Cue. You feel a surge of curiosity. Craving. You unlock the device. Response. Your curiosity is satisfied. Reward. Example: B. You feel overwhelmed by a task. Cue. You want to escape the stress. Craving. You open a news site. Response. You feel a temporary distraction. Reward. Over time, your brain links the cue directly to the reward. This is how 30 seconds of checking the time turns into 30 minutes of scrolling. To master your life, you must master these 4 stages. Law 1. Make it obvious. You cannot fix what you cannot see. Use a habit audit to list every action from your morning coffee to your bedtime routine. Label them as beneficial, plus, detrimental, minus, or neutral, equals. Don't judge, just observe. As Carl Jung suggested, until you bring the subconscious to light, it will dictate your path, and you'll call it bad luck. Clarity is the antidote to failure. I'll start exercising is too vague. You need a script for action. I will, action, at time and place. Vague, I'll meditate more. Clear, I will meditate for 5 minutes at 7 a.m. in the armchair. You can also use habit anchoring. After current habit, I will, new habit. For example, after I pour my coffee, I will write 1 sentence in my journal. Finally, design your environment. We are visual creatures. If you want to practice guitar, put it in the center of the room, not in the case. If you want to stop eating snacks, put them in a high, opaque cupboard. Create zones of activity. 1 desk for work, 1 chair for reading, 1 bed for sleep. 1 space, 1 function. Law 2. Make it attractive. Action is driven by the anticipation of reward. Our brains are wired for dopamine spikes, which actually peak before we perform the task, not after. To build a habit, you must link it to something you already enjoy through temptation pairing. For example, you only listen to your favorite podcast while doing the laundry. We are also social mimics. To make a habit stick, join a community where your desired behavior is the normal behavior. If you want to be a writer, hang out with people who treat daily writing as a standard requirement, not a special event. Law 3. Make it easy. The secret to habit formation isn't time, it's frequency. Quantity leads to quality. The path of least resistance dictates that we will always choose the easiest option. To win, reduce the friction for good habits and increase it for bad ones. The 2-minute rule. Any new habit should take less than 120 seconds to start. Don't run 5 miles. Put on your running shoes. Once you start, the momentum usually carries you through. Priming. Set the stage the night before. Put your gym bag by the door or your work materials on the desk. Law 4. Make it satisfying. The cardinal rule, what is rewarded is repeated, what is punished is avoided. The challenge is that bad habits have immediate rewards, the taste of the donut, but delayed punishments, health issues later. Good habits have immediate friction, the sweat of the gym, but delayed rewards, a fit body. To bridge this gap, add a small instant win to your good habits. Use a visual tracker like crossing an X on a calendar. Seeing your streak creates a dopamine hit that keeps you going. Crucial rule: never miss twice. If life interrupts you, get back on track immediately. Missing once is an accident. Missing twice is the start of a new bad habit. Personal application. Here is how I use these systems to overhaul my own routine. I wanted to increase my output, writing, and decrease my distraction, video games. 1. For writing. Obvious. I used an anchor. After my morning tea, I will open my laptop at my dedicated writing desk. Attractive. I bought a high-quality mechanical keyboard that I love the feel of, making the act of typing itself a reward. Easy. I used the 2-minute rule. Just write one paragraph. I also primed the environment by leaving my document open the night before. Satisfying. I use a wall calendar. I cannot go to bed until I've marked my X for the day. 2. For video games, invisible. I put the console in a closed cabinet so I don't see it when I walk into the room. Unattractive. I remind myself that virtual achievements don't build my real-world career. Difficult. I unhooked the cables and put the controller in a separate room. The 5 minutes of setup time is enough to make me choose reading instead. Unsatisfying. I told my roommate to charge me $20 every time he sees me playing before 6 p.m. Atomic Habits is more than a book. It's an operating system for the human mind. I highly encourage you to read the full text to explore the deeper nuances James Clear offers. Thank you for your time. I'll see you in the next video.